All right, we are live on YouTube. Welcome to a very special episode of Navigating the Modern World with Eli. Glad that you all joined me here today on the main channel, GNA, Genuine Personal Development. I'm going to be doing live streams here on the main channel from the studio until the end of the year, and then these will move back to GNA2, Genuine Live Personal Development, at the beginning of the new year of 2025. I've mentioned this before, but I'm briefly mentioning it again in case you're confused about why there's live content on both channels. So I'm not going to get too far into that. I explained that before. Most of you know what's going on. If you have any other further questions, comments, or concerns, please comment in the comments section or email me at eliasmelas at genuinenetworkingassociation.org. The link to the email is below in the description. Now, I have a very important show to discuss here today, and I'm not going to be on for too terribly long because I have some things to do with my girlfriend, Dawn, and then I'm probably going to be doing a walk on the other channel, GNA2, Genuine Live Personal Development, later on this afternoon. More than likely, I took the day off yesterday, so that's what's going on today. Lots going on. But before we get to this show here, let me first of all make sure that everything is rolling smoothly. Let me check out the back end of YouTube. And it looks like it's rolling well. Let me also make sure the YouTube notification went out, and it looks like it did. And let me do a sound check. Questions, comments, concerns, please comment in the comments section or email me at eliasmelas at genuinenetworkingassociation.org. The link to the email is below in the description. Now, I have a very important show to discuss here today, and I'm not going to be on for too terribly long because All right. Everything is rolling well. All is rolling well. Hopefully there are no stutters today. On my last stream from the studio, there were some stutters. If it happens again, I may just need to change my graphics card or video card driver, but we're looking good right now, so it is what it is. First of all, I hope you're all having not only a great day, but a great week. And I sincerely wish each and every one of you nothing but the best, despite what your thoughts may be of me. I want to start off first by saying that I've realized over the last 6.5+ years that I've been doing this pretty much full time out here on YouTube, that you're going to get a bunch of people that are not going to like you or don't like what you do, or like I like to think, they don't like or love themselves. A lot of people, no matter how nice or good your content is, even content like my content that helps people from the bottom of my heart, some people are just not going to like that, and they are going through a lot themselves, and maybe a lot of what I'm saying is touching them because it's true, and instead of taking the information and learning from it and bettering themselves, they project their insecurities. A lot of people are like that out here on YouTube. A lot of people are like that in this world. I used to be like that in my younger days. We all go through a stage of where we project our insecurities, and then typically by the time we hit a certain age, we grow past it. But some people never grow past it, no matter how old they are. Some people, even in their mid to late 50s, want to still continue to act like a little kid and do things to get attention and get views on YouTube and make money on YouTube. And it's just really sad. First and foremost, it's really, really sad, right? Hey, Tia, how you doing? 1 minute delay between what I say and what goes out. Hi, nice to have an afternoon stream. Yeah, it is. Not going to be on too terribly long, maybe 30 to 45 minutes max. I got your message behind the scenes. Tia, I haven't listened to it yet. I will listen to it later today and get back to you. Thank you for your response. So I've learned to understand that you're going to have people that are going to criticize you, disagree with you, have a difference of opinion. Nothing wrong with that. The problem is there are some people that take it a bit too far, and some people take it way too far. And today I'm going to talk about this woman named Tammy. I'm not going to mention her channel name because she has been doing things to me out here on YouTube for the last 2 years that have tremendously affected my business, my brand, etc. And I want everyone to know what's going on, including the people on her end, which are not going to care, even though they know I'm right. They're not going to care because the people that follow this woman are my haters. And my haters only hate me because they're lacking, self-love and self-respect and self-worth deep within. And they just can't stand it when anyone else is positive around them. So they try to, kick people like myself down as an attempt to make themselves feel better. Hi, Donna. How are you doing? Yeah, I'm not worried about it, Joey. I'm not worried about it. I'm going to talk about it, okay? Hi, Ella. Hi, Tia. People can try to sue, but they won't win anything. Don't worry about it. No, we're going to talk about it because I'm at the point right now where I felt it was important to do this show. Tia says, Joey Sharp, right. It's a power trip for some. I think you're trying to say that Tammy is an unhappy person. I firmly believe that. I've been saying that for the last 2 years, that, there's something deep within you, Tammy, that is making you react and behave this way and making you feel the need to do this to people. This has nothing to do with my content. This has nothing to do with having a difference of opinion. This has to do with something you found that makes you feel better about yourself. You enjoy, in my opinion, you enjoy attacking other people you perceive to be in a better place than you for whatever reason as an attempt to make yourself feel better. Now, lots of people do that, and it's still not right. And I can understand people projecting. I can understand people coming out here on YouTube and even saying things that aren't true. But then when some people like you, Tammy, threaten to sue people all the time when things don't go your way, or, you threaten to sue people as a way to, get more attention and have more content and use that to make more money. When people like yourself abuse the legal system, because honestly, in my opinion, Tammy, you are one of the biggest abusers of our legal system. You are one of the biggest abusers of our legal system. And I think many people know that. I think even your own audience knows that. The people that hate me know you abuse the legal system. And you've done that to me, and you're threatening to do that again to me. And quite frankly, whatever you do is on you. You have the right here in the U.S. to sue anyone for any reason at any time. Doesn't mean you're going to win, like Joey says. But what it does, Tammy, even if you know you're not going to win a lawsuit, what it does is gives you content. It gives you something to talk about, right? But if you do go through with another lawsuit, Tammy, I can't control what you do. All I can do is defend myself, and I will. Okay? All I can do is defend myself, and I will. But I will not be talking about it publicly. This is all you're going to get right here. And this is also going to be a final attempt. Like the title says, I strongly suggest you move on from making content on me daily. Hey, Donna, how are you doing? Because here's the thing, Tammy. You can sue me for whatever you want. I can also sue you too. I can countersue you. Which if you do sue me, I will countersue you for a lot of stuff. And based on our past experiences of going to court before Last year, this woman basically was put up to trying to steal my business, the Genuine Networking Association, or GNA for short, by a guy named Coach J, who no longer associates with Tammy. We'll get to that in a little bit, right? Coach J gave Tammy an idea, in my opinion, because I don't know it for a fact because I wasn't there when it happened, but I know what Coach J did to me years ago. Coach J, when this channel used to be called The Grip on Life, he went and, got a business license and I think got an LLC for A Grip on Life just to try to mess with me, right? So he gave that idea to Tammy last year. And because I didn't realize I needed a business license in the city I live in to even run an internet business, right? What Tammy did was she got a business license here in Redwood City, then got an LLC here in Redwood City, right? But I had the rights to the name. I've always had the rights to the GNA name because I created the image. I created the logo to the GNA, and I've been using the name in commerce since 2011. Okay? Now, even if it was an honest mistake that I didn't realize needed a business license, which now I have that, she could have been a nice, kind human being, which she isn't, in my opinion, and said, hey, you should get a business license. Instead, she wanted to use me as content, and she wanted to try to look cool in front of Coach J because she really liked Coach J, in my opinion. I'm stating in my opinion, Tammy, because these are not facts. I think this is what happened. But if I state things as an opinion or allegedly, that's not slander, and that's not defamation, Tammy. It's not. These are my opinions on what I feel happened. Sorry, there was coffee ground in my coffee. Typically, I have no grounds in my coffee, but oh man. Anyway. So yeah, she was trying to, cozy up to Coach J, in my opinion. And so what happened? A bunch of people, including myself, she created a channel and used a similar logo. I have a star logo for the GNA, like you see here in the video, right? And she had someone duplicate a similar logo with the same business name and created and changed her monetized YouTube channel name to the same one as my business. And so myself and many others filed for impersonation, and YouTube took her channel down. And then she sued me for wrongfully, terminating her YouTube channel for impersonation for $2,500. And I was like, wow, what kind of a person is this person? And I had known about her past. She was going back and forth with another creator out here that runs the Adventure AZ channel, Dana, on a platform called Kiwi Farms. And she was harassing Dana. In my opinion, you were harassing Dana. In my opinion, Tammy, you were harassing Dana. And you were egging her on, and you were antagonizing her. And she did overreact, and she did do some things that, cost her because she let her emotions get the best of her. But you were the antagonistic one. You antagonized her. You pushed her on purpose to do the things she did because you wanted her to deal with the law. And I think she might have gotten arrested, or, the FBI got in touch with her. I don't know the whole entire story. I can't remember it. But she had to deal with the law because you antagonized her so much on purpose. What kind of a person do you feel you are if all you want to do is come out on YouTube and social media, other platforms on social media, and antagonize people to the point of where they do things because they have a breaking point after you antagonize them so much, and then the law gets involved? Like, what kind of a human being are you that wants to harm people in this way? Because you're harming people, and you're saying I'm harming people. listen, my advice may not be for you or some of the people out here, and my methods may not be the most orthodox, but they are what I've experienced. They've worked for me, and my intentions are never to harm anyone, okay? But do you not understand what you're doing is way more harmful than anything I've ever done or anyone else throughout the entire communities I've been involved with out here on YouTube and you? No one has harmed or hurt people, in my opinion, Tammy, more than you, in my opinion. That's my opinion. Okay? So, we had a court date 4 months out, and then we were both going back and forth last year. I was trying to get her claim dismissed early. That failed. I tried one time. It failed. I said, okay, whatever. And then I filed a countersuit for $10,000 for intentional infliction of emotional distress. And she tried not once, but twice to dismiss my countersuit of intentional infliction of emotional distress. She tried twice and got denied twice. Obviously, she knew I had plenty of information to prove my case, right? Now, we were going back and forth with the courts and videos, which I will not be doing this time if she does decide to take further action. And then the last week or so, I did a video and I decided to see if she wanted to settle. And Tammy agreed to settle the case for $1,000 if she doesn't get her YouTube channel back. She wanted me to try to get her YouTube channel back that was rightfully terminated for impersonation because she was impersonating my business. Okay? Now, I let all that go, and I was trying to be nice to you, Tammy. I was trying to be nice to her, and I have proof of being nice to her through emails where her and I were going back and forth. I have those emails. You do too, right? I was trying to be nice to her and let this whole thing go, right? And I settled for $1,000 because if we would have gone to court and let's say either one of us would have won, let's say she either won her plaintiff's claim or I won my countersuit, my defendant's claim. The other one of us was going to file an appeal. And at that point, we would need to get attorneys. And then at that point, it would be more like, this was small claims, but it would be more like a civil case because we would have to hire attorneys. That would cost a lot of money. I believe it would cost more in court fees. And it would just take up a lot of time. And then the YouTube drama that you would create, Tammy, in my opinion, the YouTube drama you would create out of it, it just wasn't worth it, right? So I settled for $1,000 because if I didn't, okay, it was going to cost both of us, not just me, more than $10,000. And even if I won my $10,000 defendant's claim, I would have lost money. And there are people out here that have been chastising me for settling. It was the right thing to do. And I was being really nice to Tammy. I was being really nice to her, right? And she was going to go on. And part of the settlement was that I tried to get her YouTube channel back. I did legitimately try to get her YouTube channel back. And it failed. Didn't work. I contacted legal@youtube.com. It didn't work. So she said, either get the YouTube channel back and she'll get her revenue that way, whatever was in her, AdSense account before she got removed, or $1,000. So after like 30 or 45 days of trying, I sent her one payment of like $350, I think. And then I sent her another payment of like, I think it was $650, and I just paid it off in like a couple months. And that was that. Part of the settlement agreement was that her and I could both coexist and run different versions of the GNA, the Genuine Everything Association, because we have different classification codes, right? My class code is personal development. I believe hers is like, business and all that kind of stuff, whatever, right? So I agreed that her and I could coexist as part of the settlement, okay? And I don't have a problem with that, okay? As long as she does her own thing and does not run her business in a way that creates a likelihood of confusion, which I'm going to get to that in a little bit as well. Well, maybe not today. Another time, I'll talk about likelihood of confusion because I'm working on some things that are going to put this whole thing to rest once and for all, probably by the beginning of the new year. Okay. So after that, she said she's going to focus on running her version of the G&A. I'm going to focus on running mine. But what happened? After a month of doing the G&A stuff, she didn't get any traction. So then she started coming at me again. And she started coming at me every day, making content on me, simulcasting all my live streams, right? Making very vile community postings, right? Very vile and hateful community postings, which are still currently on her community wall to this day. And I was just ignoring that. And she was a part of another group with, let's just say, male Jamie, who, by the way, is coming back tonight after his short break. Come on, we knew that was going to happen. It's all good, whatever. No big deal, right? You see, male Jamie and some other people that he works close with, they became friends with Tammy. And they were all taking turns doing the Eli content. And then all of a sudden, it got to the point of where Tammy started to do things, in my opinion, from what I saw, that were too vile. Jamie didn't want to do those things, and neither did, his business partner, his female business partner that was friends with Tammy. So the reason why, in my opinion, you started getting more traction over Jamie and his female business partner you used to be friends with is because you started doing the vile things and going and threatening to go real life and going way too far, crossing the line that they didn't want to do, because they can't sit there and preach and say that, it's not right for people to go real life on them. So if they go real life on other people, they're being hypocrites. So you have always gone real life, in my opinion, Tammy, and you were starting to take it to that level where, you started getting more traction because you were more vile than male Jamie and his female business partner that he used to be friends with. Now, I don't know if you're all back to being friends again. I don't know if this is one big, hoopla to just get me to respond. You're going to get one response here, and I'm going to make it very clear what's going to happen. And then whatever you do, I'm handling behind the scenes. That's it. So then Tammy started getting all the traction because, again, she was, doing more vile things than male Jamie and other people in Jamie's network that would do Eli content. They didn't want to take it to the real life level or do things that are extremely vile. And that's, in my opinion, what Tammy does. So, let me see. We are at 24 minutes. So that's a little bit of the backstory. And this stems back 2 years when Tammy first started coming at me when she was good friends with Coach Jay, who she no longer friends with. We're going to share more about that in a little bit because there are some updates, okay? And there are some things that I'm going to mention that I'm not going to say specifically what I'm putting in place, but I've got some things that I'm putting in place that will end this thing once and for all over the next few months. And I'm going to give you the opportunity, Tammy, to end it now. I'm not threatening you. I'm asking you as a professional to cut this out. And if you don't cut it out, then, you're threatening legal stuff. I'm not threatening you with legal stuff, but if I need to protect myself legally from you, I will do that. Whether you file the suit first or I file one down the road, I will protect myself to the legal extent of the law. And I've got protections in place, and I'm going to share some of those here in a second. But first, I'm going to take a quick break right now and then come back for another 20, 30 minutes. Give me a second here. Let me cue up some music here. Give me a second. All right, music is all queued up. I'm going to step away for about a 6 or 7 minute or 8 minute break. And when we return, we're going to get the second part of the show and we're going to get you up to date. And I'm going to let you folks know where I stand and what's coming. Stick around. We'll be right back.
You have magic.
All right. We are back live. Welcome back to the show. Ethan Mixel in the shadows from the YouTube audio library. Yeah. Rip it, Ethan. Rip it, baby. Rip it. Wow. Yeah. Rip it, baby. Rip it. Yeah. Yeah. All right. Welcome back to Navigating the Modern World with Eli, live here on YouTube Live on the main channel, GNA, Genuine Personal Development, where I'm going to be doing in-studio live streams here between now and the end of the year. And at the beginning of 2025, they're moving back over to the live streaming channel GNA2, Genuine Live Personal Development. Link is below in the description. If you're not subscribed to both channels, make sure you subscribe to both. Bang the bell, select all notifications so you don't miss anything. The link again to GNA2 is in the description. So make sure that you do that, because we have a lot of great, positive, and uplifting content coming every day. We've got the GNA membership drive happening on the GNA2 channel. I believe episode 8, day 8 of the GNA membership drive will be happening later today, more than likely, unless something comes up. And yeah, just a lot of good stuff happening between now and the end of the year to set us up for a very amazing and prosperous new year. And we hope you can join us along on that journey and better yourself personally and professionally. That's what we wish upon you folks, okay? All right. Anyway, you know what? Let's just scratch it and get right back down to business. All right, today we're talking about some unfortunate things with another creator that, in my opinion, has been harassing me and defaming my character and exploiting me on this platform. In my opinion, I feel it is exploitation, and in my opinion, I do feel that leads to some form of extortion because when people use your intellectual property or misuse your intellectual property, also known as your copyright, on your image, your videos, your audio, etc., and they make money off of that day after day after day, misusing it, then that, to me, in my opinion, is a form of extortion. But I'm not here to create any issues. Now, hang on. Let me make sure that the audio and video is still good. In my opinion, has been harassing me and defaming. Yeah. All right. All right, so let me continue here, okay? I wanted to mention another thing. This is what Tammy did to me. This is a fact. She filed for a stalking order against me in her state of Florida. This was happening all during the time of when she sued me last year regarding my business name and regarding being wrongfully terminated from YouTube for impersonation, which is what she was doing. Let's just state that again, in my opinion, okay? Because she likes to take things out of context and tries to find sneaky ways to try to say, oh, you're slandering my name and this and that, blah, blah, blah. No, man, you're slandering myself and other people, in my opinion, each and every day. You are. And I know there are a lot of people that feel the same way. And there are a lot of people that would be willing to, corroborate that. And again, I have no intentions of going after you or anything. I want this to stop. But if it does not stop during the new year, I'm going to have even more protective measures in place where I will be able to legally, forcefully stop this, regardless of what you think or what you say or what anyone says. But we're not going to talk about that right now. I'm in progress of sorting all that out, okay? But this woman filed for a stalking order on me. I've never stalked anyone in my life, and she lives in Florida. I'm in the Bay Area, San Francisco Bay Area, 2,500 miles away. And she tried to put in that, stalking order request other things that don't even involve her. It's like she's trying to mention things from 4 or 5 years ago regarding some people that were coming at me and maybe didn't handle it the right way, but my intentions were never to harm anyone. She's focused on the past that's been resolved. Everyone else back then has let it all go. And she didn't even know me back then because she's focusing on that. And she put that as part of her, as part of her stalking order. And then she even, mentioned, her child in the stalking order. I'm 2,500 miles away, and I would never do that to anyone. And the interesting thing is that I got served papers to appear in court in Florida. Okay, I was supposed to appear in court on a Monday. I got papers on a Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, 4 days before I was supposed to show up in Florida. If you're not going to be reasonable, I'm going to ban you in the chat. Of course, Tammy has the right to talk about me in reasonable ways. She has the right to share her opinions in fair use. What she does not have the right to do is slander and defame my character. And also say things that are definitely not true. So, back to this anti-stalking order that she tried to get on me, right? So I literally got served this 4 days before I was supposed to show up in Florida. That's not the way the process works here in California. In California, they give you I think 10 days. I had 4 days. So I called, the county that was handling this in Florida. And they told me that I can send the judge, a request to appear, by phone, right? So I sent the request to the judge, and then I get denied my remote appearance. And I'm like, number one, I can't afford to fly out to Florida for something like this that I didn't even know existed. Now, secondly, they said they can extend the court date because of this. But I was like, I can't afford to fly out there regardless. And I did nothing. Like, this woman is just abusing the legal system, in my opinion, and using it to try to make content off of me. So I was just thinking to myself, she basically did not even get a temporary restraining order. What happened was, on the paper, it said that there's not enough information for a temporary stalking order to be, given. So more than likely, she wasn't going to get this because it didn't happen. I didn't do anything. Look at all these trolls on behalf of Tammy coming in here. It could be her. She's working now. It's trolls. No, she does not own the trademark to the GNA. She can apply for one on her own version if she'd like, but she's going to have to make some changes to get it to go through. And I'm going to talk about that here in a second. Because, you see, you trolls don't like the fact that I'm going to shut this down. One way or another, either, this is going to just stop and Tammy will get the hint that her pursuing this is going to cost her a lot of time and unnecessary resources and money. More than it's going to cost me, I'll tell you that right now, and I'll explain that in a second here, okay? It's okay, Tia. We got them at the same time. 1 minute delay between what I say and what goes out. So I rebanned them. So what ended up happening? I believe I sent the judge a second notice, trying to make them aware of the situation that, I can't afford to come out there, and extending this case is not going to make a difference. I just don't have the money, and I'm also I'm the caretaker of my girlfriend who's dealing with some medical issues. Tia says, these people are in the dark about a lot. No, they don't love themselves, Tia. These people are unstable people, in my opinion. They're mentally and emotionally unstable, and they need major help. So what happened? Monday comes, and there's no way I wasn't approved to appear by phone. I don't know why. I don't know why the judge could not understand that, hey, I live clear across the country. I can't afford to go out there. I'm trying to do the right thing. I got this 4 days before I'm supposed to appear in Florida from California. And so Monday came and went. And then literally, I think it was either two or 3 days later, Wednesday or Thursday, I get a letter from the county in Florida where this was filed at. And it stated that the case had been dismissed because the plaintiff didn't show up. The plaintiff, Tammy, did not show up to court because she knew she wasn't going to get disapproved. Because I've never done a thing to harm her or anyone. And in my opinion, I feel she did this because she was just trying to trigger me and just overwhelm me with so much paperwork that it would distract me from the actual case, and she would just run away with it. But what she didn't know is that I have a lot of stamina, and I can write very well. And I've got great technology such as Adobe PDF and Microsoft Word, and I know how to handle those things very professionally. So she tried to do that, right? Now, fast forward. We're emailing back and forth very politely. She's saying very nice things about Dawn, and she's saying I handle this very professionally. I have those emails if we end up going to court again for whatever reason, which I hope not. But hey, that all depends on Tammy's behavior and what Tammy does from this point on. I have those emails, and those emails will show that, hey, I was communicating respectfully. I paid the settlement. I had 4 months to pay it. I paid it in less than 2 months. I did my part. I more than did my part. And then again, she comes back, and after a month of trying to run positive G&A stuff, her version of the G&A, nobody wanted to see that. So she started the Coach Eli hate train again. And started doing it in such a vile way, like I mentioned before I took the break, that even Jamie and his female business partner that used to be friends with Tammy, they're like, we don't even want to push it at that level. We poke a little fun at Eli every now and then, but we don't take to the level that Tammy does. Tia says, I agree with them being unstable. I also feel them having Tammy's back. They have no clue about the legal end of it. No, they don't. They don't, because I've got all my ducks in a row, Tia, and I'm going to share that now. So here's where we're at today, okay? Here's where we're at today. So Tammy's been making content on me regularly. She's also been doing this thing called cuckumentaries, and basically she's been responding to every one of my Walking with Purpose streams and labeling them the same episode number as my episode number, right? Cuckumentaries, volume 849, 850, whatever, right? And she's been writing these very long 6 to 8 paragraph community postings, very vile, and saying things that for a fact are not true. For a fact are not true, which is slander. It is. But I can ignore that, and I can continue to ignore that. I've been ignoring that. But then on the flip side, today she's putting this out. Oh, I've got this legal service, and you'll see what's coming. Okay. So you're threatening me, right? So in essence, you're threatening me for standing up for myself. You're threatening me because I'm trying to stop the stuff you're doing that's affecting my business. You, ma'am, in essence, in my opinion, are doing to me what you're saying I'm doing to you. And you're saying that you want to sue me for things you're doing to me and claiming I'm doing them to you, which I'm not. And you could just be putting this out there to get a reaction, and fine, you did. But I was going to talk about this regardless because I want everyone to know that I'm in progress of putting serious preventative measures and protective measures in place, because in 2025, I'm moving this organization forward with positive people, and I'm not letting anyone get in the way of that. And I'm in progress of covering myself 100% legally in everything. And I'm doing things that will allow me to enforce taking action. Right now, I am limited to the action I can take. But with these new protective measures I'm putting in place, which I'll share more about that down the road, maybe some of you can figure it out. You can all guess what you think it is. Once I have these protective measures in place, I'll be able to take more legal action to protect my name, my business, my brand, etc. And I don't care if you see this as entertainment. If your entertainment is to intentionally slander, in my opinion, you're slandering me. If your entertainment is allegedly, I'm speaking this language very carefully with you, ma'am, because you spin things way out of context. Because without myself and attacking other people on YouTube or the internet, you got nothing, man. No one's going to watch you. What are they going to watch you for? What do you have? What is it that you have to offer? You could do the nice thing, which you were trying to do that, but you got no traction. And here's the thing. When you're doing nice things, like I'm doing, you don't get a lot of traction right away. You have to work it and build up to it. But you found a way to exploit me, in my opinion. In my opinion, you found a way to exploit me and then make money off my name, which in my opinion is considered extortion. Nobody tells me what to do. That's right, Tia. No one tells you what to do. 1 minute delay between what I say and what goes out. Lewis Fuller, how you doing, brother? I saw your comment the other day. Thank you so much for being here. How you doing, man? I know I really got to get more active behind the scenes with the co-ed group. I've been more active in the women's group and speaking with people privately, but I'll get back to, communicating with all of the great moderators that are still around here at the GNA. Another thing, and this is a fact, you put it in one of your videos. And ma'am, I know you got everything I put out, which I have pride in what I put out. I'm not concerned about what I put out. But I've downloaded all of your channel's videos up to date. And I've also downloaded all your videos from your Eli TV channel on Rumble. And What was I going to say? I was going to mention something and it slipped my mind. There's a lot to talk about. I'm trying to rush through it because I really got to get going soon. Give me a second here. Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. So, another thing that Tammy threatened to do, I originally had a registered trademark with the United States Patent and Trademark Office for the GNA and the GNA logo. I got that back in, I think it was like 2013, I think is when I did the original trademark. And at the 6-year mark, I didn't realize you're supposed to update the United States Patent and Trademark Office. The trademarks are good for 10 years at a time, then you have to renew them. But at the 6-year mark, you have to do some clerical work. And I missed that, and my trademark was canceled. So I reapplied for the trademark, and then I had some issues I was dealing with these issues for 3 years, up until the point of where, the United States Patent and Trademark Office, late last year, end of November, beginning of December, they ended up, I think it was not abandoning. I think, what did they say? It was canceled. They canceled my application or something, or my application was dead. So I then reapplied at the beginning of the first week of December. And because there's a big backlog of trademark applications with the United States Patent and Trademark, the United States Patent and Trademark Office, the federal registration. Right now, I'm currently working with the attorney to finalize things. Okay. Now, once it gets finalized and it gets approved, what happens is the United States, and Tammy knows this, and she's waiting for this. And I'm waiting for you, Tammy. I'm waiting to see your move because I'm ready, right? What happens is the USPTO, United States Patent and Trademark Office, puts out a notice of publication. And basically, they publish your trademark approval. They publish your trademark ready for approval in the official trademark gazette, and people have 30 days to oppose the trademark. So what did Tammy say in a video? Oh, I'm going to be opposing that trademark. Okay. So you're going to oppose that trademark, and it's going to cost you, I believe it's like $600 or so, right? Now, there are some other things you can do initially, and I'm sure you know what your options are, and I'm sure that you're going to leverage every single option to at least slow me down from getting that trademark, because once I get that trademark, then I have a lot more protection. Now, here's the thing. If you want to invest your money, it's probably going to cost you around $600-$700 to oppose this, right? Now, on top of that, you still have an LLC in California. And in 2024, ma'am, you're required to pay $800. I wonder if you paid the Franchise Tax Board in California the $800, because your LLC in California is still active. So you owe the state of California $800. If you want to contest my trademark, that's going to be another $600-$700. That's $1,500. If you want to sue me in court, how many more thousands will that cost you? How much money, ma'am, are you willing to spend to try to make my life miserable so you can keep having Eli content, or just because you don't like me and it makes you feel better to try to knock me down? How much money are you willing to spend to do this? How far are you willing to go? Because here's the thing. You can try to oppose the trademark all you want. I've got all my ducks in a row. I've got my Redwood City business license. I've got my LLC with the state of California. I've also got my DBA with the county of San Mateo. You can look it all up. It's there. I'm sure you looked it up. I'm sure you know. Elias Melas, DBA, Genuine Networking Association, or GNA for short. And if you do decide that you want to sue me, you're suing my business. You're suing the GNA because, again, this is a business matter. It's happening on YouTube, and this is where I'm running my business. So I'm Elias Melas, DBA, doing business as Genuine Networking Association, or GNA for short, right? And that's why you get an LLC to separate your liability from your personal stuff. Because here's the thing, you're not going to win if you decide to sue, even if you did win. All I have to do is file bankruptcy in the business. There's not a whole lot of money in the GNA. We're not funded yet. We need to get funded. We need more donations. So what are you going after? There's nothing to go after in the GNA. And this is a business matter, not a personal matter. Now, if you want to try to sue me on a personal level, what are you going to sue me for? This has nothing to do with personal stuff. This is an online business thing. And here's the thing. What you don't realize, ma'am, is that whenever you create, I created my own logo. You had someone create the logo for you. Do you understand that the person that created your logo for you could claim intellectual property rights because they made the logo? The rights typically go to the creator of the logo, right? You didn't even create your own logo. I created my own logo with my bare hands. So that's my IP, intellectual property, since I created it back in 2011. But I have a new version of the same logo, which is effective in July, when I started using it in commerce, July 19th, I believe, of this year, 2024. That is not normal behavior. There is no reason for it, in my opinion. You're right. So it's my intellectual property, right? It's my intellectual property. From a copyright standpoint, the logo's been my copyright all along. There's a different version of the logo, okay? But I still have the rights to the original logo. I created that. Whatever you create, image-wise, you have the intellectual property rights to it. And here's the thing. You can try to figure it out all you want. You probably will figure it out. I am in progress of further protecting my intellectual property rights with my logo and with other aspects, other images, and things regarding my business and my brand. There are other things that are already in place that if you do decide to spend your money and try to challenge my trademark from being registered, I'll just present all of that to the Trademark Trial and Appeal Board. And again, what I think you're going to do, because this is the kind of person you are, Tammy, in my opinion. You're the kind of person that even if you know you're going to lose, you will drag something on for a long time just to make someone miserable and just to continue to try to take from them in the ways I feel allegedly you've been taking from me. That's what you're going to do. I'm a lot smarter than you think I am. I'm a lot smarter than you give me credit for, and I think you know that. So that's another thing this woman's trying to do. So she tried to take my business in the first place, sued me over something stupid, tried to get a stalking order on me that she didn't even show up to court for because she didn't get the temporary restraining order approved initially. I got served 4 days before I was supposed to show up in Florida, 2,500 miles away. So she did that. Now she's trying to mess with my trademark. This woman is literally harassing the shit out of me. And that's what it is. That's exactly what it is. This is harassment. And I've let it go. But the reason why I'm talking about it is because now you're threatening to sue again. Because your numbers are going down. You're not getting the same traction you're getting, or you were getting. You're not making the same money you were making. So now, and this is my opinion, man, in my opinion, I think you're like, now I need to do something really damning, like threaten to sue Eli and maybe actually sue him, even though I probably won't win. It'll get the traction back on me. And then it'll get this back and forth going. You're not going to get any back and forth from me. And if you do decide to move forward with the suit, I will be countersuing for a lot of stuff. And I will be using the family attorney. And if you do decide to do it, it has to be done in the county of San Mateo because that's the rules. For California, you've got to sue someone in their own county. You have to. That's the rules. And then remember, if that's the case, then I can present to the court that, hey, this woman sued me last year for this, and here are the emails, she was being nice to me, and all of a sudden, she hasn't stopped coming at me. Look at all these videos. Look at all these community postings. Look at what this person's done. And if this is a civil case, which honestly, if you're going to sue someone for slander or defamation, you're going to do it outside of small claims, which is going to cost a lot more money in attorney's fees, and there'll be a lot more room for discovery, and everything will be discovered. Another thing, Tammy, your former friend, Coach J, right? Coach J, a.k.a. Josh, right? From what I've heard, he's hit his channel. I haven't gone to look, and I don't care to look. But I heard you had a falling out with him, which is why I guess apparently your website has been down for several months. You still own the domain, at least for now. But your website's down. And he was probably your administrator, and you probably don't know how to create a website. So you don't have him now as your webmaster. I'll say this. Despite what's happened in the past, Coach J, despite what's happened in the past, I respect what you're doing now. You walked away. You know this has gone too far. You know the liability here is above and beyond what you would have ever done. Even you, Coach J, you, Jamie, anyone else, none of you would have ever taken it to the level that Tammy has. You're like, this is just too much. I'm out. Peace out. And you even did that during the days of where we were in court for, the what do you call it? The impersonation, right? Yeah, again, this is not normal behavior. There is no reason for it, in my opinion. She doesn't stand a chance. Absolutely no way. No, she stands no chance. She knows that. She's using this for content. And that's fine. I'll put it out there and say, hey, you know what? If you're going to put out stuff threatening to sue and stuff, okay? In the past, she's done it, and she did. She did sue. Don't be surprised. This woman will file a frivolous lawsuit because in the U.S., you could file a lawsuit for breathing air wrong. She would do that just because it would keep the content going. It would keep the Eli haters going, right? But I would not feed a damn thing into it, and I would be handling this completely behind the scenes because I'm not going to give you that ever again. I'm not. I'm trying to say, look, I suggest you move on from making content on me. Move on before, honestly, I start taking some action in 2025 with the new protective measures I am working on getting in place and will be in place by that time, guaranteed 100%. And the bottom line is it's not going to matter what you say or what you do. It's not going to matter if you try to put out content 5 years ago, it doesn't involve you, right? It doesn't matter if you think that what I say is right or wrong. Nothing matters besides what you've done to me and I've done to you, and I've done nothing wrong to you. Nothing matters besides what you've done, not what anyone else has done. And I've done nothing to you. And Adventure AZ Dana, you've been right 100% of the time. Okay? And despite the fact that you want to keep calling me beta male, I really don't care. It's not a big deal. I understand. You're right. You've been right about it. I was hoping this would all go away, and it didn't. So now I'm at the point of where I'm coming out here and saying, hey, it either does go away or within the next month or two, when I have other legal protective measures in place, I will be taking advantage of those, and it will stop. The law will stop it. And you can enjoy another month or two of doing what you're doing, but in the new year, the law will stop it, right? And I don't care what the trolls and haters say. I'm reading their comments because I'm laughing. I'm like, are you people in the right mindset? Nothing you say makes sense at all. You folks will say anything no matter how much it doesn't make sense, because it's not that you don't love me. You don't love yourselves. You don't love yourselves. All of you have some serious mental issues, in my opinion. And you need to get help for that. You need to get help for that. And that's why you folks are behaving this way erratically on YouTube. And most of you are in your late 30s, your 40s, or 50s. Pathetic, absolutely pathetic adult behavior. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I wanted to say, because now we're at an hour and 16 minutes. This is not normal. Hi, Sandra. Where's Sandra at? I don't see Sandra anywhere. I don't see Sandra anywhere. Tia? Hang on. Sandra's not here. I try to tag her in. She's not here. She's not banned here. Are you seeing something I'm not? She's not on the screen. And the screen version is not attached to any account. Oh, she messaged you. Oh, you're saying hi to her. Hang on a second. Give me a second here. All right. I think I've pretty much said everything that I need to say. I'm just going to wrap up by saying this. In my opinion, Tammy, your behavior is not normal, and you know that. You've been doing this on the internet for the last 10 to maybe 15 years. I don't know what kind of satisfaction you get from attacking, harassing, belittling people on the internet. It's one thing to give feedback or to do commentary on someone and share your thoughts and opinions. It's another thing to go after them constantly every single day for a long period of time. In this case, 2 years with me. And how long was it with Dana? Many years. Just tuned in a few minutes ago. Hey, Eli. Hey, Sandra, how you doing? You're going to want to check out the replay. 1 minute delay between what I say and what goes out. Thank you for being here, Sandra. Thank you so much. You consider yourself to be a professional, Tammy. You work in the education system. You deal with children. And I'm not the kind of person that would ever go after somebody's job in the real world. I don't do that. But how do you not know other people aren't reaching out to your employers and sharing with them your vile behavior on the internet during your off time? Why would you put your job and your family at risk with this piss poor behavior? This is not normal, and this is not legal behavior. But you are pushing the boundaries, and you're playing the system. You're writing lines and skating lines because in order for someone to stop you, they have to have lots of preventative measures in place or lots of things in place. And I didn't have those things in place, and now I do. And more is coming. Tia, Eli, you brought up a good point before. This isn't good for anyone's health. It's not. Lewis says people who do this kind of stuff just to be stupid and hateful is just plain sick in the fucking head. You're right, Lewis. Big round of applause to all of you. Yeah. Tia says, I agree, Lewis. Yeah, it's not good. It's not good for anyone's health, including your health, Tammy. And you're already dealing with health issues. And I don't wish you any harm. But why would you do this to your health? Why would you do this to your family? Why would you risk your job, risk your livelihood by doing this kind of stuff? There are many people in the real world that have lost their job because of shitty internet behavior. Why would you do that? And many people are wondering, how have you gotten away with this for so long? Because no one's taken action against you. No one's tried to stop you. Even you, Dana, really didn't take much action. You were going back and forth calling out Tammy, but you didn't take any action. No one's held her accountable. That's why she keeps doing it. No one's held her accountable, right? And I'm just saying this. If this continues going on into 2025, I will hold you accountable in any way I can with the measures I'm putting in place right now and some that I already have in place. And you can go back to your channel and talk about me and threaten me and do all this. Everything that you do from this point on, I will continue to use it as evidence of your erratic behavior. And I'll tell you this, if you want to come back and say, oh, Eli can't afford an attorney, this and that, you don't know what I can and can't afford. And if I couldn't afford an attorney, I can still represent myself. And I would represent myself better than your attorney would represent you. Because here's the thing. Proof is proof and facts are facts. So one way or another, if this moves forward on your end, I will defend myself. And I will be ready. And one way or another, this will end. Because in 2025, the GNA here is moving forward in positive ways. It's already moving forward. But we're not going to have anyone from the outside tarnish our name. You can run your version of the GNA any way you want, as long as it doesn't create a likelihood of confusion with my business. And again, one thing to advise you on is that I'm not gonna advise you. I'm not gonna advise you at all. I'm not going to. Don't need to. Don't need to do that. Don't need to do that. You can figure it out on your own. I'm sure you will. Oh, she must be hungry. Someone throw. Yeah, well. Louis Fuller, Hyatt, Santa Palacio. Tia says, that's not enough, Sandra. Yeah. Screenshot it, Tammy. Put it out there that people are saying some mean things to you. You say mean things to me all day, every day in your postings and in your videos. Don't come off like a saint. Don't accuse people of doing things to you that you do to them tenfold. I'm not buying it. No one else is buying it. Even your own audience knows that you've taken it way too far. The only reason why they're there is because it's entertainment to them. And they're lonely and miserable as well. They are. I would just tell them to get your head out of your ass and grow the hell up, because you are not acting like an adult. You're acting like an effing kid. You're right, Louis. You're absolutely right. Now, this is all. I wanted to put this out there. I wanted to let you know where I stand, Tammy. I want to let you know my next move, pending your move. The best move you can make is walk away. If you don't walk away and you take action, I will defend myself in every way that I can. And I do have the resources to do it. And I will do it to protect my business, my name, my brand, etc., my intellectual property. What do you think your own attorney would say when I would go to your attorney and say, hey, let me send you all this information that I'll be presenting in court regarding all these community postings of the vile things your client is saying, and you're going to say it's free speech? You can consider it free speech. Let's see what the judge says about it. Let's see what the judge says about how much content you're making on me between both channels, Rumble and YouTube, every day. You're making it all about me. It's like a creepy stalker, in my opinion. It's excessive. I've never seen anyone obsess over making content on me more than you, Tammy. Not even male Jamie or anyone else. You have been the most obsessed ever. For the last 2 years, you have not been able to let it go. You live and die Eli. You're living and dying my name. And this is going to end soon, one way or another. That's not a threat, it's a promise. This is going to end soon, one way or another. You can laugh all you want. In the meantime, make all the content you want. Once I get my protective measures in place that will stop this legally, at that point, don't be surprised. And see, here's another thing, Tammy. I took you down for copyright earlier on this year. 2 copyright strikes on the channel you're on right now, right? And then you went on your community wall and said, back to court we go, 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 right? That's all you look forward to is back to court, right? That's all. Exploiting the legal system, right? Right? Exploiting the legal system, in my opinion. He probably wouldn't take the case. It's backwards. Right. What attorney would take this case? Right? And if you want to go small claims again, then I'll just present, hey, we just settled the case. And then this woman came right back and harassed me. Here's what she's done since that point. I settled. I paid her early. I gave her everything she wanted. And she's still harassing me, in my opinion. Right? Well, here's the thing. An attorney could take the case even if they know they would lose to make the money, but that would be unethical. That would be unethical. And there are unethical attorneys out there. So I'm sure she would find an attorney to do unethical things, in my opinion. So you threatened back to court we go, so I retracted the copyright. So in essence, ma'am, you're threatening me to go to court if I protect my own content from you using it, right? You see how that looks? I'm really tired of I'm really tired of the way that you handle things out here. You abuse people's content. They rightfully and legally take action, and then you threaten to sue them when you have no leg to stand on. But here's the thing. The problem is you can sue anyone anytime, and it's a pain in the ass to just have to deal with court. You're not going to win. But you would do it just to drive someone crazy, man. That's how you are. You would sue someone regarding something that has no legal merit just to try to slow them down from creating what they're creating and to drive them crazy. That's what you do. And that would be also part of my case. That's called intentional infliction of emotional distress. That would be a part of it. Intentional infliction of emotional distress, slander, defamation of character, violation of intellectual property rights, you name it. And trust me, in 2025, I will have the rights to protect further my intellectual property. You can figure that out for whatever it's worth. I'm sure you will figure it out. Right? And then we can go in front of a judge and say, here, judge, look at how much of my content this woman uses. It's not under fair use. And she's going to claim fair use. But, this does not substantially bring any value to the content. This is hateful and abusive content that's not covered by fair use. You cannot use someone's content to bully and harass them, in my opinion. You have to bring substantial new value. The amount of content that's being used is astronomical. I see the resemblance in more ways than one. Can you say baby reindeer? Yup. Like that reindeer? Oh, I'm not sure what you mean, Sandra. You'll have to message me behind the scenes. By the way, on GNA 2, where I was able to do super chat goals, I don't have that access here on the main channel yet. I found out I got an email from YouTube today. They activated it 2 days before they sent out an email. I am a part of the early access to it. So I'm like a beta tester. So I cannot set up super chat goals on the main channel here, but I can do them on GNA 2 because I was chosen to have early access to a feature. Finally, I'm getting access, early access to a feature that's up and coming for everyone. So that is that. And if I want to set goals for whatever reason, including, my girlfriend will, come back before the end of the year and do a brief pre-recorded video if people donate $25. If I want to do that, it's my prerogative. Why do you folks care? Like honestly, all of you are like little kids. Tammy, you're like a little kid in my opinion. The people following you are like little kids. You guys are not grown adults. Like, your behavior is just the most erratic behavior I've ever seen. Nope, I'm doing the right thing. You're still trolling me all these years later. I'm still here, and I've come a long way, and I'm going to keep moving forward. I'm not in the wrong business, and I'm not crying. I'm stating the facts, so have a nice day. Have a nice day, man. Tia says the judge probably would be pissed for wasting his time or her time. Let's be fair, Tia. There are female judges too, respectfully speaking, right? Now you're going to come in on multiple accounts to copy and paste the same message? Do you think that bothers me, dude? You're more pathetic than all these people for coming in here and trolling because, see, something had to trigger you to come here. What's triggering you is the fact that I'm standing up for myself and making sense, and this is all going to be over soon, and you're going to have to find your fix elsewhere besides cringy Eli content these people are creating and abusing. Do 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 do. I hope you do the right thing, Tammy. That's all I can say. I hope you do the right thing. Move on to bigger and better things. Because honestly, I'm not threatening you. I'm letting you know that for you to do everything you want to do to keep the facade going, for the Eli haters to keep on coming to watch your streams on your channel and to donate to you, it's going to cost you a lot of money, and it's going to cost you in other ways, in my opinion, because it hasn't happened yet. And I watch my words with you because you spin things out of context. And I'm telling you this right now. I've been paying attention to your community postings and other things. I'm not going to. I'm ignoring you completely starting now. But once I get everything in place, which might take a month or two at the most, once everything's in place, I will then look to see if you're still doing the stuff. And if you are, at that point, I'll do what I need to do at that point. Now, if you decide to take some action before that time, then I will defend myself now with what I've got. And I've got enough to defend myself right now. So, do the right thing. It's time to move on to bigger and better things. It's gone on way too long, way too far. It's gone on way too far, way too long. I'll tell you this. Hold on a second. That's my one of my phones ringing. Give me a second. It'll turn off. Is that the real Gunner Gaming, Sandra or Tia? What do you care about this, JD? Why do you care? Because you were a part of doing this for 2 years, and you made your money off my name too, but you moved on, so I let it go. All of you, in my opinion, are here to eat off of other people's plates. You said this, JB, back in those days. People are trying to eat off your plate. No, dude, you eat off of other people's plates. I don't eat off of other people's plates. I create my own stuff. And whenever I do fair use stuff, like on blogs and stuff like that, I do it fairly and respectfully. The majority of you in this group eat off of other people's plates because what would you do otherwise? Right? Who would watch you otherwise? Many of you don't take care of yourselves physically, and you just don't have the presence to do this. And I'm not trying to criticize you, it's just the truth. So you've got to eat off of other people's plates to have some kind of relevancy. And if I want to keep doing this for 10 or 20 more years till I die, or 30 years, 40 years till I die, whenever that is, JB, I'll keep doing it. I'll keep calling people out. I don't care. What does it matter to you? Why do you care? Why do you care? Because you're invested in the story? Because it's something to watch right now because you're bored? Right? You can start talking about me again if you want. I don't care, dude. Not a big deal. I don't care. Lewis, because he's mentally ill, they have to be put in the loony bin and the key thrown away. Yeah, I hear you, Lewis. I hear you, Lewis. A lot of these people should be in the loony ward, myself, the loony bin, however you want to call it. And they say the same thing about me. But clearly they're just, projecting. Like, I don't wish harm upon anyone. I just want everyone to be happy and be good to each other. But these types of people are so far gone. Like, I don't think they're ever going to change. Honestly, I don't think Tammy's ever going to change at all. I don't think this is going to change. And, whatever will be, will be. But I put it out there. Everyone knows. You know, Tammy, where I'm at. And that's that. I'm not paying attention to you folks at all anymore. That is that. Time to go. With that being said, I'll probably do a... All right, I screwed that up, so I had to dump the delay, but now I'm back. Have a good one. Let's try that again. Have a good one. Take care. And as always, be good to each other.